Hello, everybody, it's Julian, and welcome to the very first episode of The Final Stab. This has been in the works for a while now. I'm really excited to finally launch this because it just seems like a much more simple way to share my opinions on what's going on within the horror community, updating you guys on the channel, and it's much more simpler and easier to do it than, sharing a post on Instagram or constantly making a channel update video. This is just an introduction, so it's going to be a lot of getting used to, talking to a microphone. Of course, I have some pretty cool topics to talk about today. Obviously, the first thing I wrote down here is why make a podcast? I feel like everyone listens to podcasts. I fucking love podcasts. When I'm working on something, cleaning, and I just hope this is gonna be really fun. It's a lot of things I plan to do with this. Hope to get some guests here to talk about other horror stuff, or even just get a little personal. I have some crazy ass stories that I would love to share on here that are worth talking about. So last year, I really did not get to work as much as I wanted to on the channel. Did a huge amount of working on Ghost Boys episode 11, aka I guess season 2 episode 1. That was in the works forever. If you guys aren't familiar with my Ghost Boys series, it's on the channel. Been doing it for 5 years now, which is crazy. And I remember writing the script for the recent episode and just being like, oh, this is gonna be a lot of work. And it was. And we worked on it for about 6 months. Everything, filming, editing, everything all put together. So if you haven't checked it out, don't worry. If you've never seen Ghost Boys at all, you can go into this with a fresh new start. I really wanted to relaunch Ghost Boys in 2020 during the pandemic by making a mini series called Ghost Boys Shorts, which I loved making that. It took a year to finish completely, and I still look back on episodes and I have a great time. I don't really watch the original season of Ghost Boys a whole lot, just because I've learned so much in these past couple years, and so it's a little cringe to see how different things were back before I even had a camera, just using my phone, which is always still a good start, and I'm not against using a phone to film anything. You'd be amazed with stuff we have today. And then I remember I uploaded a little silly G-rated Christmas special that was just for shits and giggles. I had to do it for class, for a film class I was in, and so I just thought, oh, what a cool opportunity. I can make something for a grade and also share it to the world. So I'll just be well, it's not the regular Ghost Boys are used to, so you can just have fun with this 5-minute G-rated special. Putting all that aside, I am pretty excited for what I want to bring this year, also along with this podcast, which of course one of the plans is this podcast, so hopefully we get to do this a lot, but I'll wait for the end of this to share what I want to do at the end of the channel. I do want to bring up some pretty cool topics I wanted to talk about, just so I'm not boring you guys talking about God knows what. Chucky season 3. That's exciting. I can't believe we're already talking about season 3. I remember when season 1 was announced, and that was a different time then. It was before the pandemic, and it was when the remake was announced. In all honesty, just to kind of talk about that, if you guys have been here for a while, you may or may not know that I was not a fan of the remake. And that was just in all honesty because Cult had ended on such a big cliffhanger. I thought definitely at that time it was one of the strongest sequels. It was just getting nothing but praise. I saw very little hate for it. And I love the Chucky franchise so much that to hear that a 90-minute movie that comes out every other year was going to turn into an 8-hour television series, as a Chucky fan, that sounded incredible. When the remake came out, I was mostly upset that it was going to ruin that. So of course I saw the remake. I did not like it. I don't watch it. I still don't watch it, but I'm not as bitter about it anymore, considering that the show did get to come out. We're still talking about it today, and now we're on season 3, which is just insane. And speaking on the show, I I mean, I for the most part, I feel like season one mostly got positive feedback. It was all mostly positive for season one. I loved season one. I had a great time with it. It was a great way to introduce new characters, bring in legacy characters, and it felt like a great blend of Child's Play 2 and Bride. It wasn't perfect in any way, but I absolutely loved season one. But then season two comes out. I had a great time. It's like same thing, wasn't perfect, but I felt like I mostly saw hate for season two, which I understand. I understand some of the points I heard from just, reading comments online, watching other reviews. I think for sure you can tell with that season they really wanted to get it out of their system to go just batshit crazy camp, and I love that it was so different from season one. I think, that's why Chucky has been so relevant today, that Don Mancini just keeps reinventing the franchise. And I definitely think with season 3 we should tone down the camp with everything, because I felt like season 2 was a great blend of Seed and Child's Play 3, which sure are, quote, the worst in the franchise. I love everything about Chucky. I can't even rank that franchise. That's how much I love it. And same thing going on with the next topic I will be getting to. But before we get to that next topic, I do want to share just some things that I want to happen with season 3. Like I said, let's tone down the camp. I'm fine with Chucky cracking up jokes. But I definitely, I would say, like, we don't need a bald Chucky, we don't need the buff Chucky, we don't need any of that stuff. Just make Chucky scary again. One of the things I really would love to bring back in season 3 is Chucky with his scars. One of my favorite looks of Chucky. So I really hope that is introduced. And something that I know was really sort of like that got a lot of hate was the way Tiffany was portrayed in season 2, and I honestly disagree. I really liked the way Jennifer Tilly portrayed her in season 2, because she's completely unhinged. She is going through an identity crisis, and she's literally the craziest I feel like we've seen her. And I don't mind how over the top she would be. My biggest complaint honestly was I really didn't like how the kills were. The kills were pretty annoying. Like, we're already about to enter the 10th chapter. She came in with, obviously, in Bride. Like, she only slits throats, and I don't like that. I want Tiffany to start chopping heads off, stabbing somebody. Like, I feel like they really need to change her up, even though I think Jennifer Tilly's still doing a fucking great job. Lastly, I will add for season 3 is, of course, legacy characters. They ended it with Andy and Kyle kind of like as if it was like their last time they will ever be in the franchise, and I'm like, bullshit. No. Obviously, I feel like chances are really high in season 3 that we will get either Tyler and Da Silva back. That will be really cool. I don't see why we wouldn't want Jessie to come back. Really doubt Katherine Heigl would want to come back as Jade. If she did, that would be insane. But of course, the dream is to have Karen and Mike come back. And something that might sound controversial, but I'm willing to see it, is I would love if Karen and Mike came back and one of them was killed off. It would bring stakes into the franchise. We've never really had big stakes like that before. I just really hope that they do come back at some capacity. It's been 35 years and they've only been mentioned or pictures have been shown of them. And I really would hope that they would be willing to come back for the show. Now let's talk about what I'm really excited to talk about, and that's Scream 6. I'm really about to go see Scream 6 in a little bit. Like, this is being recorded before I go see it. So I'll just give like my brief thoughts of what to expect this time around and how I feel about Scream 6 right now. And of course, as we all know, Sydney's not coming back. And honestly, that's like the least of my concern that she's not coming back, because I do feel like it would have been a little much to like see her get chased again for the 6th time. Like, I feel like we really got to like change stuff up. So I really want to see how that's gonna work. We've never seen this been done before, and I always love seeing new stuff. So the only downside of Sydney not coming back is she's not gonna reunite with Kirby. Now, I can't believe Kirby's back, guys. I'm a huge fan of this franchise. Both Chucky and Scream are just those franchises that like mean a lot to me. And huge fan of Kirby. I still can't believe the fans won. She's coming back. I already know I'm gonna freak out in the theater once I see her. And that's the only downside, is that we're not gonna see her and Sydney reunite. Granted, I know they weren't like close in the franchise, but still, like, it would just be cool to see those two share the screen again. But that being said, I'm fine with Sydney not coming back. I respect Neve Campbell's decision not to come back, but Gale, I think, is a goner. I'm pretty scared. I'm genuinely scared to see what's gonna happen, because obviously I love Gale, and I think she's a goner this time, guys. So I'm slowly getting prepared to see what they will do with that. I don't even know really what's gonna happen, because I've been trying to dodge every trailer. I only saw that teaser trailer with all of them on the subway. So I don't know what the commentary is this time. I don't know what the motive will even be, how many killers there will be. So this is fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun going in blind, and I'm very excited. Now I'm gonna close this off with what I want to do in 2023 with the channel. I have a lot of exciting new stuff. Obviously, this podcast is one of them. For starters, like I said, still working on Ghost Boys, episode 12. The script for episode 12 is pretty much done, so that's really exciting. It's gonna be much more horror based, with obviously comedy, and I'm very excited to be working on that this year. I also have a new short film that's gonna be coming on pretty soon, and it's happening, and it has to happen because it's also for a class I'm doing. It's definitely happening because it's for a grade, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Horror, of course. And of course, as we all know, been talking about this for a while now, Grim Reaper. You know, everything changed since the pandemic. That's when I got to release Angel of Death, and obviously that wasn't on my mind at the time. I don't think I had pandemic on my mind whenever writing Grim Reaper. The script was done for a very long time, and then I kind of started to change it because I wanted to bring more to it and expand on it. So honestly, I'm just trying to get everything right. And even if I was to have the script done, I just want better equipment, and obviously things cost money, and the dream is to, like, you know, start like a GoFundMe or something to fund the short film or feature-length film, for all we know. Like I said, I really want to, you know, dive into more stuff with it. I want to make it fucked up, sad. I really want to make a horror drama. That's kind of my go-to on this one, just to change stuff up. I remember people's reactions to whenever I brought up Grim Reaper in the post-credit scene of Angel of Death, and literally no one's gotten it right for what to expect with Grim Reaper. Some of the theories I've heard for what they think it'll be about, no, yeah, I don't think anyone will know, and I think that's really exciting. But that's all. I would love to do it. I'd do it right now if I could, but it's just time will tell. And of course, since I've been kind of, you know, being very brief with talking about these movies and shows and whatnot, I really want to do my movie reviews. That's been in the works forever. I'm just struggling trying to find a great way to, you know, write a good like formula for it. I want to do like a whole summary of the movie, or like also be a little brief with it, so if people haven't seen the movie, they can tune in and out of my video to go and see it, come back to watch the spoiler-filled version of it. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys like when you see movie reviews? Do you like a whole summary of it, or do you like when it's brief and then you have to see for yourself to really have an opinion on it? So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about on here, guys. This was really interesting. I really can't wait to see where this goes with the podcast. And definitely follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at @XTheScreamKing. You know, any questions, hit me up. I'm always happy to answer. And I might even do a Q&A on the next episode for this podcast. So keep an eye out for that. And this was fun. Thanks for listening.